Listen to me. Some of you keep saying you don't have enough time. You say, I don't know why I'm not where I want to be. Let me tell you why. You keep wasting the little time you've been given. You wake up late, you scroll on your phone, you gossip, you complain, you make excuses, and then you wonder why you're not successful. You think you have time, but you don't. Time is the one thing you can't get back. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose friends and get new ones, but when you lose time, it's gone forever. Every single day you waste is a day you could have been building your future, a day you could have been grinding, a day you could have been getting closer to your dream. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop telling yourself you'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised. If you don't take control of your hours will control you. You don't need another motivational video. You don't need another pep talk. You need discipline. You need urgency. Listen, you say you want success, but success requires sacrifice. That means you have to cut out the nonsense. Stop wasting time on things that don't matter. Stop hanging around people who don't push you to be better. Stop watching everybody else live their dream while you sit back doing nothing with yours. Winners don't waste time. They treat time like money. Every second is an investment. And if you want to be successful, if you want to be great, you got to stop wasting time and start putting in the work right now. I don't think some of you really understand how serious this is. Time is the most valuable thing you will ever have in your life. Not money, not cars, not clothes, not likes on Instagram, not followers on TikTok. None of that compares to time. You can lose money and make it back. You can lose a job and get another one. You can lose a car, you can lose a house, you can even lose relationships and build new ones. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. You don't get a receipt. You don't get an exchange. You don't get a refund. It's over. The clock doesn't stop for you because you're tired, because you're stressed, because you're not motivated, because you had a rough day. The clock keeps ticking whether you do something with it or not. And that's why I'm on you today. Because some of you act like you got a spare lifetime sitting in the back pocket, and you don't. See, here's the thing about time. It's the one thing you can't control. You can't stop it. You can't slow it down. You can't buy more of it. You can't negotiate with it. You don't wake up in the morning and bargain with God, saying, yo, let me get 25 hours today instead of 24. It doesn't work like that. You get what you get. Everybody in this world gets the same 24 hours. No matter who you are, no matter where you're from, no matter how rich or poor, no matter what language you speak, no matter what country you live in, we all get the same 24 hours. But here's the difference. Some people take those 24 hours and squeeze every ounce of greatness out of them, while others waste them like they mean nothing. And that's the reason why some are successful and some aren't. Some aren't. It's not always talent. It's not always connection. It's not always luck. It's how you use your time. And let me tell you why this is so serious. Because most of you think you have more time than you really do. You act like you got forever. You keep saying, I'll start tomorrow. I'll grind next week. I'll take my dream serious when things calm down. But what if tomorrow doesn't come? What if next week never arrives? You think you got time. But in reality, every day you waste is cutting down the number of days you actually have left. And you don't know when the clock runs out. That's what makes time so dangerous and so valuable at the same time. It's precious because it's limited. And it's dangerous because you never know how much you got left. How much I need you to hear me on this. Every second you waste, every hour you throw away, every day you spend doing nothing with purpose. You can't get that back. You can't rewind the tape. You can't say, oh, let me do that day over. It's gone. And some of you are sitting here wasting weeks, months, even years of your life, waiting for the perfect moment. You keep waiting for life to get easier. You keep waiting for the right opportunity to show up. You keep waiting for motivation to hit you. Let me be real with you. If you keep waiting, time will pass you by, and you will look up one day and realize you wasted your shot. You had everything you needed, but you didn't take advantage of the time you had. You say you want success. You say you want to be great. You say you want to change your family's life, change your situation, change your future. But if that's true, then why are you acting like time isn't the most valuable currency you have? You spend it like it's free. You spend it like it doesn't matter. You spend hours binge watching shows, scrolling through other people's lives, gossiping, complaining, making excuses. And then you wonder why you're not where you want to be. You're broke not because you don't have potential, but because you're bankrupt in the way you manage your time. Oh, you've got dreams sitting in your head, but they're dying. They're dying because you don't invest your time in them. You're watering distractions instead of watering your destiny. You know why people who make it to the top get there? Because they treat time differently. They treat it like it's gold. They treat every hour like it's money in the bank. They don't waste mornings sleeping in. They don't waste afternoons doing things that don't matter. They don't waste nights on nonsense. They squeeze every ounce of productivity out of their day. That's why they win. Not because they're smarter than you, not because they're more talented than you, but because they respected time in a way you did. I'm telling you, you've got to start respecting time. You got to start treating every second like it counts, because it does. You got to start looking at your schedule and asking yourself, what does this get me closer to my goal, or is it just stealing my time? You got to start cutting off people, cutting off habits, cutting off anything that robs you of your time without giving you value in return. Because every minute you give away to something meaningless is a minute you're not using to build your dream, to build your life, to build your future. And don't think because you're young, you've got time to waste. That's the biggest lie you can believe. You think because you're 20, 30, even 40, that you got time to play around. You don't know that. You don't control that. You can't see the clock on your life. Nobody knows when that time is up. So the worst thing you can do is gamble with it. Some of you are gambling with your time, like you got unlimited credit, like you got a never-ending account. But let me tell you something. One day, the clock will stop, and you won't get an extension, you won't get another chance. All you'll have is the life you built with the time you had. And if you wasted it, you're going to have regrets you can't erase. This is why I tell you every morning you wake up. It's a gift. It's not guaranteed. That's another 24 hours deposited into your account. And the question is, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to invest it in your dream, your health, your relationships, your goals, your growth? Or are you going to waste it on distractions, negativity, and excuses? That's the choice you got to make every single day, because time doesn't care about your excuses. Time doesn't care about your feeling. Time doesn't care that you're tired. Time doesn't care that life is unfair. Time doesn't stop and wait for you to get it together. It keeps moving. And the people who win in life are the ones who move with it, not the ones who sit around waiting. So when I say time is the most valuable resource, I mean it. Don't take it for granted. Don't waste it. Don't let another day slip by without making progress. You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to play games. You don't have time to keep saying one day. You got now. Right now, that's all you got. And if you use it wisely, it can change your whole life. I need you to hear this deep. Stop procrastinating and take action immediately. Stop waiting. Stop stalling. Stop stalling. Stop saying you're going to do it tomorrow or next week or when the timing feels right. Some of you have been saying, I'll start tomorrow for 5 years. You've been sitting on the same idea, the same dream, the same plan, but you haven't moved. You've been circling the runway, but never taking off. You've been collecting notebooks full of goals, whiteboards full of vision, journals full of affirmation, and you haven't executed one thing. You keep procrastinating like you got forever, but you don't. And every second you delay is another second you'll never get back. I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Procrastination is the killer of dreams. It doesn't kill them all at once. It kills them slowly, little by little, day by day. Every time you tell yourself, I'll do it later, you're digging a grave for your dream. Every time you hit snooze on the alarm, every time you push off the assignment, every time you delay making that phone call, writing that book, starting that business, studying for that exam, training for that goal, you're letting procrastination rob you. And the worst part, you're handing it the keys. Nobody's forcing you to delay. You're choosing it. And I get it. Procrastination feels good in the moment. It feels comfortable. It's easy. You say, I'll do it tomorrow. And instantly you get relief because now you don't have to deal with the hard thing right now. But here's the problem. Tomorrow shows up and you're still not ready. You push it again, then again. Before you know it, weeks have gone by, years have gone by, and years have gone by, and your dream is still sitting there and untouched collecting dust. That's the danger of procrastination. It tricks you into thinking you're safe because you said you'd do it later. But later never comes. You want success? Stop procrastinating. You want to graduate to get that promotion, to start that business, to change your body, to change your life. Then you got to stop putting it off. You got to stop waiting until you will feel ready. Let me tell you something. You're never going to feel fully ready. You're never going to wake up one day and magically feel prepared for everything life throws at you. Readiness is a myth. Action creates readiness. You don't get confident before you start. You get confident by starting. You don't get momentum before you move. You get momentum by moving. Stop thinking you need to have all the answers, all the resources, all the perfect conditions before you begin. Start where you are with what you have right now. I talk to people all the time who say, hey, I'm just waiting for the right time. And I tell them the right time doesn't exist. The right time is a trap. The right time is now. The only thing you're guaranteed is the moment you're living in. Tomorrow is not promised. Next week is not promised. Next year is not promised. You don't know what the future holds. So why in the world are you gambling your dream on a time you might not even get to see? You've got to treat today like your last chance. Because for all you know, it might be. And let me break it down for you. Procrastination is not just about being lazy. Procrastination is about fear. Some of you are procrastinating because you're scared. You're scared you'll fail. Scared you'll look stupid. Scared you'll be judged. Scared it won't work out. So you tell yourself you'll do it later because later feels safer. But all you're doing is hiding. All you're doing is avoiding the work that could actually change your life. You've got to stop letting fear control your clock. You've got to stop letting doubt dictate your actions. Oh, fear is always going to be there. Doubt is always going to be there. The only way to beat it is to move anyway. When you procrastinate, you're saying your future doesn't matter. You're saying your goals aren't important. You're saying your dream can wait. But let me ask you something. How long are you going to keep saying that? How many years are you going to waste talking about what you're going to do instead of doing it? How long are you going to keep telling your family, your friends, yourself that you got this big dream, but you never show proof of it because you never take the first step? Talk is cheap. Action is priceless. Stop talking about it and be about it. You got to flip the switch and move now. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. Now, because here's the truth. Action breeds clarity. You don't know how to do everything. That's fine. Start and you'll learn along the way. You don't have all the resources. That's fine. Start and resources will show up. You don't have confidence. That's fine. Start and confidence will grow as you move. But if you wait, if you sit around procrastinating, none of that happens. You stay stuck. You stay in the same place. And your dream dies in the waiting room of procrastination. Some of you are waiting until Monday. You're waiting until the new year. You're waiting until you get a sign. You don't need Monday. You don't need January 1st. You don't need a sign. The sign is that you woke up this morning. The sign is that you're alive. The sign is that you're breathing. That's all the confirmation you need to get started. So stop waiting for perfect timing and create it with your actions. You got to stop procrastinating because every delay costs you. It costs you time. It costs you opportunities. It costs you opportunity. It costs you momentum. It costs you energy. When you delay something, it weighs on your mind. You keep thinking about it, stressing about it, dreading it. But the moment you take action, that weight lifts, you free yourself. That's why action is powerful. It doesn't just move your life forward. It also clears your mind. And once you build the habit of acting immediately, procrastination loses its grip on you. I need you to understand. Greatness doesn't come to the ones who wait. It comes to the ones who act. Opportunities don't knock forever. Don't stay open forever. If you don't move, you miss your shot. And here's the thing. Life is not going to wait for you to get ready. Life is moving whether you move or not. And if you keep procrastinating, life will pass you by. You'll look up 10 years from now, and you'll see somebody else living the dream you could have had, simply because they acted while you waited. So you got to develop urgency. Urgency is the difference between average and extraordinary average. People say, I'll do it tomorrow. Extraordinary people say, I'll do it now. Say, average people wait for motivation. Extraordinary people move with discipline. Average people keep planning, but never executing. Extraordinary people execute, then adjust. That's the mindset shift you need. Stop being average. Stop procrastinating, move now. I know it's hard. I know it's uncomfortable. I know it's scary. But comfort and growth don't live in the same place. If you want to grow, you got to step out of comfort and into action. If you want to change your life, you got to push past the fear and move. If you want to stop procrastinating, you got to start doing the thing you've been avoiding. Today, not later, not after this, today. Because at the end of the day, procrastination is stealing from you. It's stealing your time, your energy, your opportunities, your potential, and you're letting it. But you don't have to. You can choose right now to stop waiting and start working. You can choose to take action immediately. And that choice, that decision could change everything for you. Listen to me, because this is where so many of you are messing up. You think success is about motivation. You think if you just watch enough motivational videos, if you listen to enough speeches, if you read enough quotes, that's going to take you to the next level. But let me tell you something. Motivation might get you started, but it won't keep you going. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that burns day and night. Success requires discipline, not just motivation. Motivation is like an adrenaline shot. It feels good in the moment. You hear a message, you get hyped, you feel inspired. And for a few hours, maybe even a few days, you move. But then what happens when you don't feel like it anymore? What happens when life punches you in the mouth? When you're tired, when you're stressed, when things don't go your way? What happens when you wake up and that fire isn't there? That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is what keeps you consistent when motivation fades. Discipline is what makes you get up. Discipline is what makes you get up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is what makes you do it anyway, regardless of your emotions. Now, I need you to understand this. Successful people don't win because they're motivated every day. They win because they're disciplined every day. Do you think athletes feel like training every morning at 5 a.m.? Do you think entrepreneurs feel like grinding 16 hours a day? Do you think students feel like studying late at night when everybody else is asleep? No, they don't always feel like it. They're human, just like you. But the difference is they don't let feelings control their action. They let discipline control their actions, and that's why they succeed. See, the problem with most of you is that you're waiting to feel motivated before you move. You wake up, and if you don't feel it, you don't do it. You wait until you're in the mood. You wait until the stars align, until everything feels right. That's why you're inconsistent. That's why your results are inconsistent, because you built your life around feelings, not discipline. And feelings are unreliable. Feelings change. Feelings go up and down. But discipline doesn't care about feelings. Discipline says, I made a commitment, so I'm showing up no matter what. Let me put it to you like this. Motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. Motivation is about excitement, but discipline is about execution. Motivation talks, discipline acts. Motivation makes promises, discipline delivers results. And if you want to be successful, you got to stop depending on motivation and start building discipline. Some of you say, hey, I just need to get motivated. No, you don't. You need to get disciplined. Because if you're disciplined, you don't need motivation. Discipline means you'll go to the gym, whether you feel like it or not. Discipline means you'll study whether the test is next week or next month. Discipline means you'll work on your business even when sales are slow, even when nobody's supporting you, even when you feel like quitting. Discipline doesn't quit. Discipline doesn't wait for perfect conditions. Discipline doesn't care about moods. Discipline says, who I am. This is what I do and I'm going to do it regardless. And let me tell you, discipline isn't easy. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice. It means saying no to things you want right now so you can have what you want later. It means waking up earlier, staying up later, working when you rather rest, pushing when you rather stop. It means training your mind and your body to obey your goals, not your feelings. you. And that's why most people don't succeed. Because they want the results, but they don't want the discipline. They want the glory, but they don't want the grind. They want to shine, but they don't want to sacrifice. You want to know why some people are successful? It's not because they're smarter than you. It's not because they're luckier than you. It's not even because they're more talented than you. It's because they're more disciplined than you. They show up every day, whether they feel like it or not. They're consistent. They're relentless. They're committed. They don't stop when it's hard. They don't stop when it's boring. They don't stop when they're tired. They keep going. And that's what creates success. Think about it. Discipline is what separates the amateur from the professional. The amateur trains when he feels like it. The professional trains every day. The amateur studies when he's motivated. The professional studies because it's his standard. The amateur works when it's fun. The professional works because it's necessary. And the results show. Professionals succeed because they are disciplined enough to do what amateurs won't. And I want you to be real with yourself right now. How many times have you started something and quit because the motivation wore off? How many diets have you started and abandoned? How many times have you said, this is my year, and then halfway through January you gave up? How many times have you promised yourself you change, only to fall back into the same habits? That's not because you didn't have motivation. You had plenty of motivation. That's because you didn't have discipline. You didn't stick to it when it got hard. You didn't push through when it got boring. You didn't commit when the feelings faded. And let me keep it real. Discipline is a muscle. You don't get it overnight. You build it. You train it. You strengthen it day by day. Every time you do something you don't feel like doing, but you know you need to do, you build discipline. Every time you wake up early when you'd rather sleep, you build discipline. Every time you say no to temptation, you build discipline. Every time you push through discomfort, you build discipline, and the more you build it, the stronger it gets, until eventually discipline becomes who you are. It becomes your identity. You don't even think about it anymore. It's automatic. This is why discipline is freedom. It sounds like the opposite, right? Because discipline feels like rules, restrictions, sacrifice. But the truth is, discipline frees you. When you're disciplined with your time, you free yourself from regret. When you're disciplined with your money, you free yourself from debt. When you're disciplined with your health, you free yourself from sickness. When you're disciplined with your craft, you free yourself from mediocrity. Discipline creates freedom. Motivation only creates feelings. And here's the part I love about discipline. It outlasts. Motivation might make you start the race, but discipline makes you finish. Motivation might help you lift the first weight, but discipline keeps you training for years. Motivation might get you excited about writing a book, but discipline makes you sit down and write page after page until it's done. Motivation fades, but discipline produces results. That's why you can't rely on motivation. It's too inconsistent. But if you build discipline, you'll keep moving even when the motivation is gone. I don't care how hyped you get listening to me. I don't care how pumped you feel after this. What matters is what you do when that feeling wears off. Because it will. It always does. The question is, will you still move? Will you still grind? Will you still push? That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Not who's more motivated, but who's more disciplined. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Stop waiting to be in the mood. Train yourself to move anyway. Train yourself to act regardless. Train yourself to be disciplined enough to do it even when everything in you says not to. Because that's where greatness is built. Not in the moments when it's easy, but in the moments when it's hard and you choose to do it anyway. Some of you don't understand the price you're paying when you waste a day. Every wasted day delays your dream. Every single day you throw away. Every single hour you waste. Every single moment you let slip by without working towards your goal, you are pushing your dream further and further away. You say you want to be successful. You say you want to be great. You say you want to change your life, but you're living like you got time to burn. You're living like you can just press pause on your dream and pick it up whenever you feel like it. It doesn't work like that. Dreams don't wait. Opportunities don't wait. Life doesn't wait. And every day you waste is a day you will never, ever get back. You gotta stop thinking of days as disposable. They're not. Days are your building blocks. Every day is a brick, and the way you use it determines whether you're building your future or tearing it down. You can either stack your days in a wall of success, or you can throw them away and end up with nothing. Too many of you are wasting bricks. Too many of you are wasting days. And then you wonder why your dream feels so far away. It's not because it's impossible. It's not because you're not capable. It's because you keep delaying it by wasting the time you should have invested. Let me give it to you real. When you waste a day, your dream doesn't stay in the same place. It moves further away from you. Because while you're wasting time, somebody else is working, somebody else is grinding, somebody else is putting in the effort. And while they're moving forward, you're standing still. And when you finally decide to move, you gotta work twice as hard to catch up. Some of you are behind right now, not because you're not talented, not because you're not smart, but because you've wasted too many days. You've delayed your dreams so much that now it feels impossible, but it's not impossible. You've just made it harder for yourself because of all the time you threw away. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're saying, it's just one day. I'll get back on track tomorrow. But let me tell you something. One day becomes two days become a week becomes a month becomes a year. That's how dreams die. Not because people never had them, but because they kept wasting days until one day they woke up and it was too late. They looked back and realized they had the time, they had the chance, they had the ability, but they wasted it. Don't let that be you. Every day counts. Every single one. You've got 24 hours. That's it. Not 25, not 26, just 24. And how you use those hours determines how close you get to your dream. You can't afford to waste them. You can't afford to let a day slip by with no progress. You can't afford to keep hitting snooze, to keep saying a later, to keep scrolling, to keep distracting yourself. Because while you're wasting your hour, your dream is slipping through your fingers. Let me ask you this. How bad do you want it? Because if you really want it, you wouldn't waste days. If you really want that degree, you'd be studying every day. If you really wanted that business, you'd be building every day. If you really wanted that body, you'd be training every day. If you really wanted that life, you'd be grinding every day. Stop lying to yourself. Stop saying you want it while your actions say otherwise. Because if your actions are wasting days, then your actions are delaying your dream. And your actions always tell the truth about what you really value. I need you to see how serious this is. Think about your dream. Think about the life you want, the future you want, the family you want to take care of, the impact you want to make. Now think about this. Every time you waste a day, you're saying that dream can wait. You're saying that life can wait. You're saying your family can wait. You're saying your purpose can wait. And the question is, wait for what? Wait for when? Wait until you're older. Wait until you're tired of failing. Wait until you've wasted so much time that the dream is out of reach. No, you can't keep waiting. You can't keep delaying. You can't keep wasting days because your dream deserves better. And I want you to understand, wasted days don't just delay your dream. They destroy momentum. Momentum is everything. When you're consistent, when you're showing up every day, when you're putting in the work, you build momentum. You start to move faster, things start to click, doors start to open. But when you waste days, you break that momentum. You've got to start over again, and again, and again. That's why so many of you feel stuck. It's not because you can't move forward. It's because every time you build momentum, you waste days and lose it. You've got to stop breaking your own progress with wasted time. And don't tell me you don't have time. Don't tell me you're too busy. Don't tell me you can't find the hours. You got the same 24 hours as everybody else. The question isn't whether you have time. The question is how you're using it. You got time to scroll. You've got time to binge watch. You've got time to hang out. You've got time to complain. So don't tell me you don't have time for your dream. It's not that you don't have time. It's that you're wasting it. You've got to take every day serious. You've got to wake up with urgency. You got to move like every day matters, because it does. If you wasted yesterday, you can't get it back. If you waste today, you won't get it back. And if you waste tomorrow, you won't get it back either. That's why you got to maximize every single day. That's why you gotta make progress every single day, because your dream is too important to delay. Listen, some of you keep saying, well, one day I'll get there. Stop saying one day, Dad. Stop saying one day and make this day today. Stop waiting for the perfect time is now. Stop wasting days and start investing in them. Every day you waste delays your dream, but every day you invest brings it closer. Choice is yours. If you're serious about your dream, if you're serious about success, you got to eliminate distraction. You got to cut out the noise. You got to stop letting social media, gossip, negativity, and all this nonsense steal your focus. Because focus is everything. Where focus goes, energy flows. And right now, some of you are giving all your energy to things that don't matter, and then you wonder why you got nothing left for the things that do. Let's keep up one eye. Some of you can't go 5 minutes without picking up your phone. You can't go 5 minutes without checking likes, without scrolling, without looking at what everybody else is doing. You're spending hours watching other people live their dreams while your dream is sitting there starving. You're addicted to distraction, and distraction is killing your destiny. Because every second you spend scrolling is a second you're not building. Every minute you spend watching somebody else is a minute you're not working on yourself. And those minutes add up. Hours, days, weeks, years. Before you know it, you've wasted half your life watching instead of working. And don't get it twisted. Social media isn't bad in itself. It's a tool. You can use it to build, to learn, to connect. But for most of you, it's not a tool, it's a trap. It's not helping you, it's controlling you. You gotta ask yourself, am I using it or is it using me? Because if you're spending hours scrolling, but you can't spend an hour working on your dream, you're not in control. You can post all day, but you can't sit down and study. You're not in control. If you can watch reels all night, but you can't wake up early and grind, you're not in control. You're distracted, and distracted people don't win. It's not just social media, it's gossip too. Some of you spend more time talking about people than you spend talking about your goals. You spend more time in other people's business than you do in your own. You know who's dating who's failing, who's broke, who's cheating, but you don't know what's happening in your own life. You're wasting brain power on things that don't move you forward. Gossip doesn't build your dream. Gossip doesn't pay your bills. Gossip doesn't get you closer to success. It only distracts you, drains you, and keeps you stuck in the same place. And then there's negativity. You got people around you who do nothing but complain. You got people around you who do nothing but doubt, criticize, and tear down. And you sit there listening to them soaking in their negativity like a sponge. And before you know it, you're thinking like them, you're acting like them, you're living like them. Listen to me, energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with negativity, you'll become negative. If you surround yourself with small mind, you'll start thinking small. If you surround yourself with people who waste time, you'll waste time. You can't afford that. Not if you're serious about success. You've got to eliminate negativity from your circle, even if it means being alone for a while, because I'd rather walk alone toward my dream than sit with a crowd of people who are distracting me from it. Distractions are everywhere. They're designed to pull you away from your purpose. And if you're not intentional, they'll win every single time. You've got to train yourself to focus. You've got to be ruthless about your attention. You've got to say no to things that don't serve your future. You've got to set boundaries with your time, with your energy, with your mind. Because if you don't protect your focus, nobody else will. Here's what I know. The difference between the successful and the unsuccessful is not talent. It's not luck. It's not opportunity. It's focus. Successful people eliminate distraction. They cut out the noise. They say no to almost everything so they can say yes to the few things that really matter. That's why they get results. Not because they're better than you, but because they're more focused than you. They don't waste time. They don't waste energy. They don't waste attention. They put everything into their vision, and they refuse to let distraction steal it. You've got to start asking yourself, what are my distractions? What are the things that are stealing my time, my energy, my focus? Is it your phone? Is it television? Is it gossip? Is it negative friend? Is it gossip? Is it negative friend? Is it toxic relationships? Is it laziness, excuses, procrastination? You've got to identify your distractions and then eliminate them. Cut them off. remove them. Don't play with them. Don't negotiate with them. Don't manage them. Eliminate. Because as long as distractions are in your life, they'll keep pulling you away from your dream. And let me be real with you. Eliminating distractions is not easy. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna feel uncomfortable. You're going to feel like you're missing out. But let me tell you, the only thing you're missing out on when you cut distractions is wasted potential. The only thing you're missing out on is a life of regret. When you cut distractions, you gain clarity. You gain focus. You gain time. You gain time. You gain progress. You gain your dream. That's not a loss. That's a win. Some of you are afraid to eliminate distractions because you don't want to be bored. You don't want to be alone with your thoughts. You don't want to face the work. But that's exactly what you need. You need to sit in silence. You need to cut off the noise. You need to give your dream space to breathe. Because when you're constantly distracted, you can't hear your own vision. You can't think clearly. You can't create. You can't create. You can't execute. But when you cut the distraction, suddenly you see the path. Suddenly you know what to do. Suddenly you have energy to move. Think about how much time you get back if you eliminated distractions. If you cut your screen time in half, how many hours would you have to work on your dream? If you stopped gossiping and started reading, how much smarter would you be in 6 months? If you cut out negative people and surrounded yourself with winners, how much further would you be in a year? The answer is clear. You'll be miles ahead, but you gotta make the choice. You've gotta decide your dream is more important than your distractions. Listen, every time you give in to a distraction, you're saying your dream doesn't matter. Every time you waste hours on nonsense, you're saying your purpose can wait. Every time you let negativity drain you, you're saying your future isn't worth protecting. You got to stop saying that with your actions. You got to start saying, my dream comes first. My future comes first. My purpose comes first. And the only way you do that is by eliminating distraction. So I need you to be disciplined. I need you to be intentional. I need you to be ruthless. Cut off the things that are stealing from you. Turn off the phone if you need to. Log off social media if you need to. Stop answering calls from negative people if you need to. Walk away from gossip if you need to. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Your dream depends on it. Your future depends on it. Your success depends on it. Eliminate the distractions, and you'll finally have the time, the energy, and the focus to build the life you've been dreaming of. You can't do this thing called success by yourself. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how smart you are. I don't care how much grind you think you got. If you're surrounded by people who don't value time, who don't respect discipline, who don't care about growth, then sooner or later, you're going to fall right into their pattern. Because you can't rise if everybody around you is sinking. You can't run if everybody around you is crawling. You can't value your time if everybody around you is wasting theirs. Let me make this plain. Some of you are stuck right now, not because you don't have what it takes, but because the people you spend your time with don't have what it takes. You want to grow, but you're hanging with people who are comfortable staying the same. You want to hustle, but you're hanging with people who make excuses. You want to wake up early and grind, but you're surrounded by folks who sleep until noon and don't even feel guilty about it. And you can't see it, but their habits are rubbing off on you. You think you're strong enough to resist it, but you're not. Because environment always wins. Energy is contagious. And if you keep surrounding yourself with people who don't value time, you'll start treating your time the same way. You've got to get around people who push you forward. People who make you uncomfortable in a good way. People who challenge you to level up. If everybody in your circle is okay with mediocrity, guess what? You're going to settle for mediocrity. But if everybody in your circle is chasing greatness, if everybody in your circle is disciplined, focused, hungry, then you're going to feel that pressure to rise up. You're going to feel that urgency to match their energy. You can't sit around doing nothing when your people are out here grinding. You can't waste time when your people are out here building. That's why your circle matters. Think about this. Iron sharpens iron. You can't get sharp hanging around dull blades. You can't get sharper hanging with people who don't cut through excuses, who don't cut through laziness, who don't cut through distractions. You need people in your life who remind you every day that time is precious. You need people who are moving with urgency. You need people who wake up early, who stay late, who don't waste a second, and just being around them will change the way you operate. Some of you, you've got people in your circle who don't push you forward. They hold you back. They don't believe in your dream. So every time you talk about it, they laugh, they doubt, they discourage. They don't respect your time, so they waste it. They distract you. They call you in the middle of your grind with nonsense. They don't have goals, so they make you feel guilty for chasing yours. And you think it's not a big deal, but it is. Because every minute you spend with people like that is a minute you're moving backward instead of forward. You've got to make some tough decisions. You've got to look at your circle and ask yourself, are these people helping me grow, or are they holding me back? Are they pushing me toward my dream or pulling me away from it? Do they value time, or do they waste it? Because the answer to those questions will tell you exactly why you're where you are right now. If you're surrounded by people who grind, you're probably grinding. If you're surrounded by people who waste time, you're probably wasting time. I'm telling you, get around people who value time. Get around people who don't play with their future. Get around people who schedule their day, who guard their hour, who make every second count. Get around people who will check you when you're slipping, who will call you out when you're lazy, who will remind you why you started when you feel like quitting. You need that. You can't always motivate yourself. You can't always hold yourself accountable. Sometimes you need people in your circle who will push you, who will drag you if they have to, who will not let you give up. Look, the truth is, we become like the people we spend the most time with. If you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around 5 lazy people, you'll be the 6th. But if you hang around 5 grinders, 5 disciplined, focused, time-valuing people, you'll be the 6th. That's how it works. You can't escape it. You can't outgrow your circle. You rise or fall with the people you choose to be around. And I know what you're thinking. You're saying, it's hard. These are my friends. These are my family. These are people I've known for years. Or do you want to be loyal to your dream? Because you can't have both. You can't keep toxic people close and expect to thrive. You can love people from a distance. You can pray for them. You can wish them well. You don't have to give them your time. You don't have to give them your time. You don't have to give them your energy. Because every time you do, you're taking it away from your purpose. And it's not just about cutting people off. It's about adding the right people in. Some of you are so used to being the smartest person in the room that you don't even realize how much that's hurting you. You need to get in rooms where you're not the smartest. You need to be around people who intimidate you, who inspire you, who make you feel like you got to catch up. That's how you grow. That's how you level up. Stop being comfortable. Stop surrounding yourself with people who let you stay the same. Get around people who force you to change. When I was homeless, when I was broke, when I was struggling, I had people around me who didn't push me forward. They let me settle. They let me waste time. They let me drift. But the moment I started surrounding myself with people who were hungry, people who value time, people who refuse to waste their life, that's when I changed. Because I couldn't keep wasting time when everybody around me was on fire for their future. I couldn't stay lazy when everybody around me was disciplined. Their energy lifted me up. Their grind rubbed off on me. And that's what I'm telling you. The right circle will change your life. So ask yourself today, who's in your circle? Who's speaking into your life? Who's influencing your habits, your mindset, your time? If they're not pushing you forward, they're pulling you back. If they don't value time, they're wasting yours. And you don't have time to waste. None of us do. Your dream can't wait. Your future can't wait. Your purpose can't wait. Surround yourself with people who understand that. Surround yourself with people who push you forward and watch how fast your life changes. Every second you get is either an investment or a debt. Every second you spend is either pushing you closer to your dream or pulling you further away. There is no neutral. Time is a currency, and the way you spend it determines the life you live. Some of you keep saying you want success. You keep saying you want freedom. You keep saying you want to be great. But the way you spend your seconds doesn't line up with what you're asking for. You can't say you want wealth, but spend your seconds like you're broke. You can't say you want greatness, but treat your time like it's cheap. Do you realize that some of the most powerful people in the world have the exact same 24 hours you do? The difference is not that they got more time. The difference is that they invest their time differently. While you're scrolling, they're studying. While you're gossiping, they're grinding. While you're sleeping in, they're already making moves. That's why they're ahead. Not because they're smarter, not because they're luckier, but because they treat every second like it matters. Because it does. I need you to stop thinking about time like it's unlimited. You don't know how much you got left. You don't know if you got 50 years, 20 years, 5 years, or 1 day. And the crazy thing is, most people live like they've got forever. They waste hours, like they'll get them back tomorrow. But let me tell you the truth. Tomorrow is not promised, and wasted time never comes back. You can make more money. You can rebuild a business. You can repair relationships, but you will never, ever get your seconds back. Once they're gone, they're gone. That's why you can't afford to throw them away. Think about it like this. Every second is a seed. Every second you plant grows into something good or bad. If you plant seconds in discipline, in study, in practice, in hard work, you'll reap a harvest of success, of growth, of greatness. But if you plant seconds in distraction, in excuses and laziness, then don't be surprised when the harvest is failure, regret, and mediocrity. The future always reflects the seconds you're investing right now. I know some of you think small. You think it's just a minute, it's just an hour, it's just a day. But let me tell you, success is nothing more than a collection of small investments made over and over again. You don't get great overnight. You don't get great overnight. You don't build discipline overnight. You don't build discipline overnight. It's the seconds you choose to invest every single day that add up to greatness. And the problem is, some of you are wasting so many small moments that your life is becoming one big waste. You don't even realize how much time you're throwing away because you're not tracking it. If I looked at your day right now, what would I see? How many seconds are you investing into your dream? And how many seconds are you donating to nonsense? Be honest. Are you spending more time watching other people than you are building yourself? Are you spending more time entertaining yourself than you are educating yourself? Are you spending more time wishing for success than you are working for it? If the answer is yes, then you're not treating your seconds like investments. You're treating them like loose change. And that's why you're broke in your future. You've got to start thinking like an investor. An investor doesn't throw money away just because it's small. An investor doesn't waste money on things that don't give a return. An investor looks at every dollar as a tool, as a resource, as a way to multiply. That's exactly how you need to see your seconds. Ask yourself, if I invest this hour into this activity, what kind of return will I get? Will it make me stronger? Will it make me smarter? Will it make me smarter? Will it make me closer to my dream? Or will it just give me a temporary feeling of comfort, of fun, of distraction? Piece of return is nothing. Stop investing in it. And let's be clear. I'm not saying you can't rest. I'm not saying you can't have fun. But rest should be an investment too. Rest should restore you, recharge you, refocus you, so you can come back stronger. But too many of you confuse rest with laziness. You confuse recharge with wasting time. You're not resting, you're escaping. You're not recharging, you're avoiding. And that's why when you get back up, you're still tired. You're still unmotivated. You're still behind. Because you didn't invest your seconds, you wasted them. You got to change your mindset. Start valuing seconds the way you value money. Imagine if every second was $1 leaving your account. Would you spend it on nonsense? Would you throw it away? Or would you make sure every dollar was going somewhere that gave you a return? That's how you need to start treating time. Because your life is your account. And if you keep wasting withdrawals, one day you'll wake up bankrupt. Bankrupt in purpose, bankrupt in opportunities, bankrupt in life. You've got to be intentional. You've got to schedule your time. You've got to budget your time. You've got to protect your time. Don't let people steal your seconds. Don't let distractions steal your second. Don't let laziness steal your seconds. Every second matters. Every second counts. Every second counts. And if you can master the seconds, you can master the minutes, the hours, the days, the years. And if you master the years, you master your life. Some of you are looking for a big break. But the truth is, the big break comes from small seconds invested consistently. Some of you are waiting for opportunity, but opportunity doesn't show up unless you've invested the time to prepare for it. Some of you are praying for success, but you can't pray for what you won't invest in. God gave you the seconds, but he's waiting to see how you use them. If you can't be faithful with the seconds, why should you be trusted with success? I need you to get serious. Stop acting like you got time to waste. Stop acting like you got forever. You don't. Every second you waste is a piece of your future slipping away. Every second you waste is a chance you'll never get back. So stop playing. Stop scrolling. Stop making excuses. Stop living like you got tomorrow guaranteed. Treat every second like it's the last one you've got. Treat every second like it's worth gold, because it is. Listen to me. You can't buy time. You can't negotiate with time. You can't beg time to slow down. The only thing you can do is invest it wisely. And if you do, your future will pay you back in ways you can't even imagine. But if you waste it, your future will rob you blind. And when you're old, when you're looking back, when you're full of regret, you'll realize it wasn't money you lost. It wasn't opportunities you lost. It wasn't luck you lost. It was seconds. Seconds that you treated like they were nothing when they were everything. So from this day forward, I want you to live like every second is an investment. Wake up with urgency. Work with focus. Rest with purpose. Cut out distractions. Say no to nonsense. Stop throwing your seconds away and start planning them where they'll grow. Because your future is built in seconds, and the way you treat those seconds will determine the life you live tomorrow. Listen to me and listen carefully. Tomorrow is not promised. I don't care how healthy you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care how strong you think you are. You don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. You don't know if you've got another year, another month, another week, another day. And that's why urgency is everything. You can't play with your time like you got forever, because you don't. Every single second matters. And if you're wasting it, you're gambling with your future. Some of you keep saying, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll start when the timing is right. Let me hit you with the truth. The timing will never be perfect. There will always be something in the way, always a distraction, always an excuse. If you're waiting for tomorrow to chase your dream, to fix your life, to get disciplined, you're going to be waiting forever, because tomorrow is an illusion. The only time you have is right now. The only guarantee you have is this moment. And if you don't move on it, you may never get another shot. I've been to too many funerals. I've seen too many people laid in the ground who thought they had more time. They had dreams, they had plans, they had vision, but they kept saying, oh, one day, and one day never came. That's the tragedy of wasted time. You don't feel the loss until it's too late. You don't realize how much you wasted until your seconds run out, and by then you can't go back. You can't do it over. You can't buy more. It's gone. That's why you gotta live with urgency. You gotta wake up every day like this might be your last chance to get it right. You got to work like tomorrow isn't promised. You gotta love like tomorrow isn't promised. You gotta grind like tomorrow isn't promised. Because one day it won't be. And when that day comes, you don't wanna be full of regret. You don't wanna be the one lying there saying, if only I had more time. You wanna be the one who can say, I used every second I had. I didn't waste a moment. Urgency doesn't mean rushing. It doesn't mean being sloppy. It means being intentional. It means moving with purpose. It means not wasting hours on nonsense when you could be building something that matters. It means not pushing off important things because they feel uncomfortable. It means not taking your time for granted. Every second you get is a gift. Every breath you take is a blessing. But blessings come with responsibility. What are you doing with the gift of today? Too many of you act like you got time to spare. You sleep too long. You play too much. You procrastinate. You waste hours on distraction. And then you cry about why you're not successful. Success doesn't wait for the lazy. Success doesn't wait for the procrastinator. Success belongs to the person who understands urgency, who wakes up every day ready to move, ready to grind, ready to take advantage of every opportunity. I need you to understand something. The window of opportunity is not open forever. That dream you got, that idea you got, that passion you got, if you don't act on it now, it will die. Somebody else will take it. Somebody else will execute it. Somebody else will live it while you're still sitting there saying, maybe tomorrow. Dreams don't wait. Purpose doesn't wait. Life doesn't wait. You gotta stop waiting. You gotta stop waiting and start moving. And don't tell me you're too young. Don't tell me you're too old. Don't tell me it's too late. The truth is, the only time that matters is right now. The past is gone. You can't change it. The future is not guaranteed. You can't predict it. But you got today. You got this moment. And if you don't take it seriously, you'll lose it. Urgency is what separates the greats from the average. The average person has dreams, but they put them off. They say, I'll do it when I feel like it. They say, I'll do it when I have more time. The greats, they act now. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They create the moment. They don't waste time worrying about what might go wrong. They take action and figure it out along the way. They move because they understand that tomorrow is not promised. I remember when I was homeless, when I was struggling, when I had nothing. I didn't have the luxury of waiting. I didn't have the luxury of saying, I'll start later. I had to move with urgency because survival was on the line. And I learned something powerful in those moments. Urgency gives you energy. Urgency gives you energy. Urgency gives you focus. Urgency pushes you to do things you never thought you could do. When you act like tomorrow wasn't promised, you stop wasting time. You stop procrastinating. You stop making excuses. You get laser focused on what matters. And that's when you start winning. So here's the question. What are you doing with your today? Not your tomorrow, not your next year, not your someday, your today. Did you wake up with urgency? Did you treat your time like it mattered? Did you put in the work? Did you move closer to your dream? Or did you waste it scrolling, talking, sleeping, doing things that don't matter? Because the truth is, today is all you've got. And the way you spend it will determine the life you live. Stop living like you got forever. Stop acting like your dream can wait. Stop pushing off your purpose. The clock is ticking, whether you like it or not. You can either waste your time or you can use it to build something that lasts. But make no mistake, the choice you make today will echo for the rest of your life. So I'm challenging you, live with urgency. Wake up early, grind hard, cut out distractions, stop procrastinating, stop making excuses, stop waiting for tomorrow, because tomorrow may never come. Treat every day like your last, and one day you'll be right. And when that day comes, you'll be able to look back with pride, not regret, because you didn't waste the time you were given. You moved with urgency, and you made it count. You've got to understand something about greatness. It doesn't come easy. It doesn't come cheap. It doesn't come cheap. It doesn't come overnight. Greatness costs. And the price of greatness is sacrifice. You cannot hold on to comfort and expect to reach the top. You cannot live soft today and expect to live strong tomorrow. If you want greatness, if you want to build something that lasts, if you want your name to mean something when you're gone, you got to sacrifice comfort right now. Comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort keeps you in bed when you should be grinding. Comfort makes you say, I'll do it later. Comfort makes you chase pleasure instead of purpose. And while you're sitting there comfortable, somebody else out there is working. Somebody else is training. Somebody else is studying. Somebody else is grinding. Somebody else is grinding. And when the moment comes, when the opportunity shows up, they're ready and you're not. Why? Because they were willing to sacrifice what you weren't. Too many of you want the prize without paying the price. You want success, but you don't want the sweat. You want recognition, but you don't want rejection. You want the reward, but you don't want the risk. That's not how it works. Life doesn't hand out greatness to the comfortable. Life hands out greatness to the discipline, the focus, the relentless focus, the ones who said, I'll sacrifice sleep. I'll sacrifice fun. I'll sacrifice comfort now so I can live the life I dreamed of later. You can't binge Netflix every night and expect to build a legacy. You can't party every weekend and expect to build wealth. You can't eat whatever you want, whenever you want, and expect to build a strong body. You can't waste hours scrolling on your phone and expect to build mastery in your craft. You can't have it both ways. Either you choose comfort now and regret later, or you sacrifice now and live in greatness later. But you cannot do both. Sacrifice isn't punishment. Sacrifice is investment. When you give up comfort today, you're investing in your tomorrow. You're planting seeds that will grow into trees of greatness. But if you refuse to sacrifice, if you refuse to do the hard things now, then don't be surprised when your future looks exactly like your present. Don't be surprised when 5 years go by, nothing has changed. Don't be surprised when 10 years go by and you're still stuck in the same place. You didn't sacrifice, so you didn't sacrifice, so you didn't grow. Let me break it down. You want to graduate with honors? Sacrifice the party. Sacrifice the extra hours of sleep. Put your head in the books. You want to build a business? Sacrifice the vacation. Sacrifice the nights out. Sacrifice the weekends where your friends are chilling. You want to become a champion athlete? Sacrifice junk food. Sacrifice laziness. Sacrifice excuses. You got to give something up to go up. You can't hold on to everything and expect elevation. Some of you are stuck because you're holding on too tightly to comfort. You don't want to be uncomfortable, so you don't grow. You don't want to be tired, so you don't train. You don't want to be broke for a season, so you never invest. You don't want to fail, so you never try. And the sad thing is, your comfort today is costing you your destiny tomorrow. Your comfort is robbing you of your greatness. Sacrifice is temporary. Greatness is forever. The pain you feel from sacrifice doesn't last, but the reward of greatness will outlive you. Nobody remembers the nights you went without sleep, but they will remember the book you wrote, the business you built, the championship you won, the championship you won. Nobody remembers the meals you skipped, the clothes you didn't buy, the vacations you didn't take, but they will remember the life you created for your family, the legacy you left behind. Sacrifice now, shine later. Stop acting like sacrifice is killing you. It's not killing you. It's not killing you. It's building you. Every time you push away comfort, you get stronger. Every time you resist temptation, you get sharper. Every time you say a no to distractions, you get closer to your dream. Sacrifice is not loss, it's preparation. It's molding you, shaping you, hardening you into the person you need to be for the greatness that's coming. If it was easy, everybody would do it. If greatness didn't require sacrifice, everybody would be great. But look around. Most people are not willing to pay the price. Most people are stuck in mediocrity because they refuse to sacrifice. They'd rather be comfortable today and miserable tomorrow than uncomfortable today and victorious tomorrow. Don't be like most people. Don't settle for average. Don't settle for average. Don't trade your future for a little comfort right now. There's going to be nights when you're tired, but you got to keep going. You're going to be mornings when you don't feel like it, but you got to get up anyway. There's going to be seasons where nothing seems to be working, but you got to keep grinding. Sacrifice is not glamorous. Sacrifice is not glamorous. Sacrifice is lonely. Sacrifice is hard. Sacrifice is uncomfortable. But it's in those moments of sacrifice that greatness is born. You've got to decide what you want more, comfort or greatness, because you can't have both. You've got to decide if you want to live easy now and hard later, or hard now and easy later. You got to decide if you want short-term pleasure or long-term impact. And the decision you make today will shape the rest of your life. When I was grinding, when I was trying to get my life together, I had to sacrifice. I had to sacrifice sleep. I had to sacrifice hanging out. I had to sacrifice looking cool. While other people were playing, I was working. While other people were laughing, I was crying. I was crying. While other people were chilling, I was grinding. And I'm not telling you that to brag. I'm telling you that because the only reason I'm here today is because I was willing to sacrifice back then. If I hadn't sacrificed, you wouldn't even know my name. So what are you willing to give up? What comfort are you willing to put on the altar for your greatness? What distraction are you willing to cut off? What temptation are you willing to resist? What pain are you willing to endure? Because make no mistake, greatness will cost you. But I promise you, the cost of sacrifice is nothing compared to the cost of regret. When you sacrifice comfort today, you're building a tomorrow that most people will never see. You're separating yourself from the pack. You're preparing yourself for opportunities that others won't be ready for. You're building discipline, building character, building resilience, and those things will carry you further than comfort ever could. Stop looking at sacrifice as suffering. Start looking at sacrifice as strategy. It's the strategy of champions, the strategy of leaders, the strategy of winners. Winners understand that comfort is a trap, and the only way to escape that trap is through sacrifice. If you want to be remembered, if you want to be respected, if you want to be great, then sacrifice is not optional, man, it's mandatory. So today, I need you to make a decision. Stop chasing comfort. Stop clinging to ease. Stop avoiding sacrifice. Decide that you're going to pay the price. Decide that you're going to suffer now so you can shine later. Decide that you're going to do what most people won't so you can live the life most people can. Sacrifice your comfort today. Build your greatness tomorrow. That's the only way it works.